You're listening to the PRO Media Network, the next level in entertainment.
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now listening to the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. What's going on, fam? I'm Big Q chiming with you on the Pelican post-game report. Recapping the Pelicans' wins as always, man. The number one Pelican podcast in the land. It's broadcasting live to your family. I'd like to thank all of the beautiful Pelican post-game report subscribers and the family in the building. Got a very special contributor chiming in for this show. And we're going to bring him in. Of course, this guy has been with us for a while for the inception of the PRO Media Network. It's DC in the building. What's going on, DC?
Oh, what's up, man?
It's been a while, man. So did you
man.
take a trip to the islands or something? Or how you been doing, bro?
Yeah, trip to the little island called New Orleans, man.
Oh, okay.
Life comes at you fast. You gotta be quick.
Oh, I'm thinking further south, man. Somewhere in the tropics somewhere. But
yeah, the Gulf of Mexico.
Anyway, I'd like to thank all y'all for joining us on the Pelican Post Game Report, man. Glad to see all the beautiful people in the building. Now, we're going to do in this episode, we're going to recap the 3-game winning streak by the Pelicans. Of course, we got another show prior to this one that we're going to put on the Pelican Post Game Report. It is on our Spreaker channel, our audio platform, recapping the last several contests as well. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. Pelican Post Game Report live in the building. Also, 3-game recap the previous games against Golden State, Portland, and Phoenix. And the preview tonight going against the Utah Jazz. It's going to be a big one to see if the Pelicans really got enough confidence up to make something happen. So without further ado, let's jump right into the first matchup. Of course, the Pelicans started it off. Now, they lost to the Miami Heat, and I was just really disgruntled with that game, 109-94. The Heat got them in that one there. The Pelicans just couldn't put it together. But then when they had the ability, they were able to come back home and they started a streak. They started by taking on a lackluster, injury-plagued Golden State Warrior team. They took advantage of them and beat them by 8. Well, it should have beat them bigger by that, by the way, but a win's a win. 108-100 in the matchup as Redick led the team with scoring at 26 points. Hayes and Williams both combined with 10 rebounds apiece, and Holiday had 9 assists in the matchup. And, this was a pretty good game as far as what the Pelicans started to kind of pull stuff together. New Orleans opened the game on a 10-2 run. They never looked back, securing a wire-to-wire victory, leading by as many as 17 in the game. Now, they was 18-46 for about 39% from the three-point line. Now, Golden State did finish 7-25, which was laughable. And they win snaps a 4-game regular season losing streak against the Warriors, as well as a 7-game losing streak period by the Pelicans. They desperately needed this win. Now, both teams had limited rotations due to injuries all over the place with just 9 players available. Jackson Hayes made his first career NBA start, finished with 10 points, 3 blocks to go with his 10 rebounds. It was a 7 starting lineup for the Pelicans. Now, Drew Holiday flirted with a triple-double finish, finished with 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. He also scored 12 of his points in the final frame on 5 of 7 shooting. So they were able to take it from the Golden State Warriors in that matchup. Moving ahead against the Portland Trailblazers to carry the momentum from the win over G State. They met a team. Now, Portland does have most of its people in place. The problem with Portland is chemistry, I think. I don't know what's going on, but it's strange. But the Pelicans were able to welcome them in, and they were able to take advantage. They beat them 115-104. Drew Holiday had 22 points in the game. Williams for the Pelicans had 13. Holiday also throwing 10 assists in the matchup. Pelicans finished the game 20 of 24 from the free throw line, which was pretty good. The game featured 18 lead changes and 6 ties. It was a pretty eventful and entertaining game, to be honest with you. The game tied was 64, was about 7:51 remaining in the third. New Orleans went on a 19-6 run to take it to 83-70 with about 3 minutes left. and controlled the game for the rest of the way, pushing their advantage as many as 16 points in the fourth quarter. Then the win snaps a 4-game losing streak against Portland. I remember Portland had it on their mind to beat the Pelicans since the Pelicans took their ass out in the playoffs. So they've been taking the Pelicans serious ever since then. Now, Carmelo Anthony, who's debuting for the Portland after not playing the NBA for almost an entire year, recorded 10 points on 4-14 shooting. Real rusty, didn't help him in that matchup. Now, the third of the 3 games, we're going to go into the matchup against the Phoenix Suns. Now, remember, Phoenix, still a young team. They have a lot of interesting pieces. They're still not there. Monty Williams is the coach of this team. And the Pelicans were able to get a win 124-128. Ingram led the day for the Pelicans with 28. And Williams had 9. Holiday finished with 9 assists. And then the Pelicans went 47 of 88, about 53% from the field, and shot 16 of 35 from downtown. And the Pelicans finished with 20 points with 20-plus points. Ingram had 28. 3 of their guys had 28. Redick had 26. Holiday had 22.
Yeah, I was about to tell you got to mention Redick, bro. You can't leave him up.
He was awesome. 26 points in that game. Holiday 23. Eton added 19 points off the bench in the win. Now with the game tied at 56, Phoenix closed the first half on a 10-3 run to take a 7-point lead into the break. Then New Orleans had 5 of 22 from the floor in the second quarter and just 3 of 11 from deep, while the Suns were 10 of 19, which is about 53% from the floor. And the Pelicans' last field goal of the frame came with about 7:38 remaining in the quarter, finishing with 12 attempts from the floor, 7 from deep. Now, New Orleans then corrected the errors and began the second half connecting on 10 field goal attempts in the third quarter, 4 of them from downtown as the Pelicans opened the time frame 25-10. That set the tone going into the second half because they had an 84-76 lead with about 5 minutes left. Then Phoenix hung around in the fourth quarter, making it entertaining, but keeping it a 2-3 possession game most of the way. Ingram then went off. He scored 15 of the 28 in the final time frame, including 7 unanswered to help seal the win against the Pelicans. He was the closer that night, and he looked really good doing it. Now, he was 6 of 10 from the field in the frame and finished with 2 of 3 from deep, and he had 28 points. Like I said, that's 3 of the Pelicans' recap games, the 3-game win going into the Utah. Now let's reflect back into those 3 games. DC, bringing you in here. Now with all those games, with all that being said, and after you finish giving your commentary, I got Elvin Gentry to give his take on this Phoenix Suns, the Pelicans Phoenix Suns win. But what was your perception on, or your vantage point of view from those 3 games? Which one do you like the most, or as a combination of 3 what the Pelicans do to get this winning done?
I just like the whole process, man, of what they're becoming after seeing what they became in the beginning, starting off very low. And they look like they're taking the identity of Cam Jordan to me because it's this sack thing you do with its levels to it. That's how I'm looking at the Pelicans, man. It's every game they processed or climbed a little further, and I think it's a lot to do with the injuries slowed them down. And they were able to get people back, but they're also playing better defense. Jackson Hayes has been a big catalyst of turning that around, as well as everybody getting the system down pat. I'm sure Jeff Bezos, new defensive coordinator, well, not coordinator, but defensive coach, and they got Ingram back against the Suns game, man. That seemed to spark the whole team. All those guys look excited for him to get back out there and do what he does. And J.J. Redick, man, I think behind the scenes he's a big part of the winning too. I think those guys are following his lead. He seems to be a constant worker. Drew Holiday is as well, but J.J. Redick I think is probably a little more vocal. And it's all summed up in Brandon Ingram's interview. I don't know if we have that, the interview he had after the Suns, where he said he's never been around so many guys that are just professionals. And it just seems like the team, the players, they just love playing with one another, probably love being around each other on and off the court. So when you have all that going on and the coach delivers the correct X and O's, we get the right people out there, you have no choice but to win.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think in large parts of it, you look at what the Pelicans are doing in this 3-game slot. Now, they're picking a correct time to win these games because the 3 teams that they beat are struggling majorly. I mean, including Portland, who has the pieces to be a playoff team, and I'm no doubt about it, Portland will probably end up figuring out and putting a string of wins together to help themselves. But if you look at Golden State with all the injuries, they're completely out of it. They're a lottery team pretty much. But getting that a nice win as well against these 3 teams help build a confidence, as you will, especially against the Suns, who that was pretty nice. Now the Pelicans, instead of sitting what they were prior to it. They're now on a 3-game winning streak. They're now third in the Southwest standings. Even though they're about 4 games back of Dallas, who is 10-5 right now, and Houston, who's the top dog, who's on a 2-game losing streak as well. But the Pelicans are just 3 games from 500 and kind of flexing themselves back in it. So the confidence is growing. You're looking at them slowly gaining some of the players back. Zobal ultimately looking to come back. You're looking at guys, Josh Hart is out right now. Jahlil Okafor is out, but Zion Williamson has a time frame for latest months. So you got a few guys starting to filter back to the team as they're finally figuring ways how to win ball games. And I think that's really imperative that the team, a young team, guts through it and learn how to win these games and close these games. Now here is
most definitely.
Here's Coach.
But don't get them other teams no excuse now with them being injured, man. We was heavily injured too, so it's all even in my book.
Well, I mean, you look at it too. You got teams struggling to find themselves, and sometimes you take advantage of teams that's playing very bad to get wins, to build confidence, so you can stay in a stretch. Because to be honest with you, 3-game losing streak opposite of the 3-game winning streak would have been imperative. You could very well be listening to conversation very heated about Elvin Gentry getting rid of his job, but boy, what a difference winning streaks make, and the Pelicans are obviously on the right one. But here's Coach Elvin Gentry after the Pelicans-Suns game to give his thought and his analysis on what happened.
Down the stretch. Well, down the stretch prior to that, you made a lot of winning plays. Brandon Ingram was huge, and you got clutch stops in that fourth quarter.
We did. I thought we did about as good a job as you can on Book. He's just such a great scorer. I thought we did a really good job on him. We had stops when we really, really had to. And, like I said, the game shouldn't have come down to, those plays. You live and you learn. We'll look at it tomorrow and make sure that we understand that no game in the NBA is over until the final buzzer goes off.
You started the third quarter shooting the ball very, very well. I thought that really turned around. You were down by 7 at halftime, and then all of a sudden you were up by 8.
Well, because I thought we did exactly what we did to start the game. We were moving the basketball. We were making cuts. We were finding open guys. We were driving and kicking, shooting open threes. And then we got away from that in the second quarter. So we came back out the third quarter, and I thought we did a really good job of really getting back into exactly what we did to be successful in the first place.
You mentioned the start of the game. How big was JJ as far as just kind of getting you guys off to such a good start?
Well, he's been that way the last 3 or 4 games where he's gotten us off to great starts. And our guys have done a good job of getting him free for those shots. But, he's playing really good basketball right now. He's shooting the ball extremely well, and we're doing a good job of finding him, and he's doing a good job of coming off screens and being able to shoot it.
And what can you say about B.I. and what he was able to do in that fourth quarter?
Well, I kept telling him that when we need you most, you'll come through. Because they'd had a struggle before that, and he did. He did exactly that. When we needed some big hoops, he went and got them for us. And as I said, I thought we did about as good a job on Book as you can do. I don't even know what his line was, but we know that he's capable of getting 70 in a game. We do know that. So, he ended up with Yeah, we did a great job on it. If you can hold him to under 20 points, I can tell you right now that's as good a job as you're going to do on him. But I think they got a good team. Monty's done a great job. I think the whole culture has kind of changed around here with him here, and we beat a good team tonight. So, obviously they were missing some couple of pieces, but so were we. So. I just thought that anytime you can win a game on the road, I think it's a good win.
That's Coach Elvin Gentry, man. His thoughts on the game, obviously. I agree with that. Anytime you can win a game, it's very difficult to win in the NFL. I mean, the NFL and the NBA. But the reality at the end of the day is that Gentry's right, man. They were able to pull off a win.
Difficult to win in the NFL, too.
Yeah, I'm saying all over the place. In the pro league is able to get a tough win in. You know what I mean? But it's very interesting, man, to say the least. But I actually love exactly what Coach Gentry was able to – and the team was able to put together in this one, man. Pelicans put together 3 really good, nice wins. They moved to 6-9 in the standings, like I said. It's congratulatory. Well, they ain't gonna take the congratulations, but they still got a lot of work to do coming up. Now they head out there to take on the Utah Jazz tonight. Now DC kind of moving into the Utah Jazz game. The Jazz are 10-5. They're 7-1 at home. 1 game that they lost at home. Very difficult to beat in their own building. That game's tonight on NBA channel, NBA TV. Now you dealing with the fact that Derek Favors is not going to be in the game. Zion Williamson, of course, we know he's out. So is Josh Hart and Jahlil Okafor. Now you taking on a very difficult team. Now, Rudy Gobert is listed as day-to-day, although people think he should play in this game. But you have Donovan Mitchell, Spider Mitchell, averaging 25 points a game, and Rudy Gobert should play. But Mike Conley was added to that mixture as well. Now, looking past what the Jazz did, they're on a 2-game winning streak of their own, beating Golden State and Minnesota. Prior to that, losing games to Memphis and Minnesota. So, with that being said, what is your idea on what's your perception or your opinion on what happens in this matchup against the Utah Jazz?
The opposite of most games we play as the Pelicans is going to be about defense. Team with the best defense is going to win tonight. We got several players that particularly show up or play at least decent against the Jazz. Drew Holiday is always averaged at least 21. Frank going to give you about 10. That's his hometown, by the way, so I know he going to be happy to be home. And Brandon Ingram was averaging 19 points or so with the Lakers playing the Jazz, and J.J. Redick put up 20 with Philly against them. So them 4 guys, I don't think they're going to have any problems getting points. So it's going to be on Jackson Hayes again to see if he can be the catalyst for the defense, and us being able to get rebounds as well will be important tonight because the Jazz has that monster Rudy Gobert under there that snatches everything. So once you get past those 2 aspects, it's also going to be on the perimeter defense because you got the Jazz with Michael Conley now, which is insane. A very good player that nobody ever talks about, and they're an excellent team that cuts and calls plays. They look like the old Jazz that went to the finals, the way they still run like an old school setup mixed with the new school thing a little bit. The Jazz are a very, very efficient team. So it's really going to be about execution tonight, man, not turning it over and playing excellent defense. If we can do that and stay in toe with them and be able to at least get close to our average in points, I think we can take a victory.
Brandon Ingram leads the team in scoring points, 25.6 a game, shooting 52% from the field. And the rebound aspect of it, 7.4 rebounds per game. Drew Holiday, 7.5 with the assists. Conley's a 4.3 assist total. As Conley said, I thought he'd be a little bit better than that. But very interesting. The Jazz are what we expected them to be, 10-5, 7-1 at their building. The Pelicans 3-game winning streak, 2-5 away, 6-9 overall. So it's going to be very interesting. Very difficult to do, being the fact that Derek Favors is not there. He brings so much. It would have been really a big boost to see Derek Favors go back against the team that traded him and get a little revenge there. This will be in Vivint Smart Home Arena. Going to be packed by 18,000 plus screaming for Utah Jazz. This will be a major win for the Pelicans if they can pull it off. Put them closer to 500. It's going to be really special, man. So we're going to be waiting for it, man. We're going to recap it and all. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today on the Pelican Post Game Report on the PRO Media Network. If you aren't a subscriber, feel free to subscribe. Please feel free to share the show as well. Go to the Pro Shop and check out Pro Shop as well. The link is in the description section. So from me and DC, thank you for joining us. Pelican Post Game Report. Peace.
Straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Embrace Pet Insurance is more than just pet insurance. Embrace Pet Insurance promises to provide genuine support and certainty when your pet needed the most. With personalized accident and illness policies, compassionate customer care, 24/7 access to veterinary professionals, flexible wellness plans, timely claims processing, and online customer portals, their values is what makes them Embrace. So, when selecting a pet insurance company as a partner in your pet's care, you deserve a company that has your pet's best interests at heart. Get top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Up to 90% back on bills at any vet, total protection, pet insurance and wellness, and dependable claims payments. Get the top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Go to EmbracePetInsurance.com. That's EmbracePetInsurance.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View. The new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelican.
Attention, everyone.
Get breakdown on games, free agent signings and potential moves. Unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Balance. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000, celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registers and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
There's a lot of reasons to be a fan, but only NBAStore.com has all the gear.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.